Something shifted in your relationships on August 6th. You may not have had language for it yet, but something became clearer. A dynamic that felt slightly off became impossible to ignore. A connection that was already strong became noticeably warmer. A relationship you had been managing quietly started to feel like it required a real conversation. That was Venus entering Libra. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and relationships. Libra is the sign she rules, her home. When Venus enters Libra, she is at her most powerful, her most perceptive, and her most honest about what is actually working in your closest connections and what is not. And here is what makes this particular Venus in Libra transit unlike any in recent memory. She arrived on August 6th, 6 days before the total solar eclipse in Leo. She is traveling through the eclipse corridor right now. And today, August 17th, Venus in Libra is forming an exact sextile with Jupiter in Leo. One of the most positive and expansive aspects for love and connection of the entire year. This is not a gentle cosmic nudge about your relationships. This is a spotlight. A very bright, very honest, very specific spotlight. And it is illuminating two things simultaneously, what fits and what does not. Today I want to talk about both. Before we get into it, if this channel has been helping you navigate this extraordinary astrological period, hit like right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this reach more people who need to understand what is happening in their relationships right now. And subscribe. The lunar eclipse on August 28th is coming, and that video is the emotional completion of everything this eclipse season has been building toward. Venus in Libra. What she is actually doing in your relationships right now. What Venus in Libra actually does. Let me be precise about what this transit is and what it is not. Venus in Libra is not a romance fantasy. She is not here to sprinkle rose petals over everything and make love feel effortless. That is Venus in Taurus, sensual, indulgent, comfortable. Venus in Libra is something more exacting than that. In Libra, Venus reminds us that harmony is not the absence of tension, but the presence of mutual understanding, reciprocity, and respect within a relationship where both people feel free to be themselves. That word, reciprocity, is the key. Venus in Libra is auditing your relationships for reciprocity. Not romantically, not harshly, but with the calm precision of someone who has decided that fairness matters and that peace at any cost is not actually peace. And here is what she is doing right now that is specific to this moment in 2026. Venus entered Libra during the eclipse corridor, which means she arrived into a field that is already charged with the solar eclipse in Leo's central question, where have you been performing rather than living authentically? And she is applying that question directly to your relationships. Not just romantic ones. Every significant one-to-one connection in your life. The friendship. The professional partnership. The family dynamic. The romantic relationship. All of them are being measured against the same standard right now. Does this connection allow both people to be fully who they actually are? The aspect that makes today significant. Today is August 17th. And something specific is happening in the sky that makes this the most potent day of Venus in Libra's entire transit. Venus in Libra is forming an exact sextile with Jupiter in Leo today. Venus and Jupiter are called the two benefics in astrology, the two planetary forces most associated with love, abundance, expansion, and good fortune. When they form a sextile, the energy between them flows harmoniously and generously. What this means for you today is very specific. The connections that are genuinely aligned, the relationships that have been quietly growing stronger, the people who see the authentic version of you rather than the performed one, those connections are receiving an unusual infusion of warmth, depth, and possibility today. And the connections that are not aligned, the ones you have been managing, maintaining, tolerating, or performing within, those are feeling a specific kind of uncomfortable today. Not because something went wrong, because something became clear. Venus sextile Jupiter is not creating problems in your relationships. It is illuminating what was already true about them, with more clarity and kindness than usual. Pay attention to what you feel in each of your significant relationships today. Not what you think you should feel. What you actually feel. What Venus in Libra is exposing and why. There are 4 specific things Venus in Libra is surfacing right now in the relationships that do not actually fit. I want to go through each one because recognizing them is the first step to knowing what to do with them. The performance pattern. If you have been performing in a relationship, showing up as a version of yourself that is edited, softened, managed, or reduced to keep the peace, Venus in Libra is making that performance feel increasingly exhausting. She is not telling you to blow up the relationship. She is asking, why are you working this hard to maintain something that requires you to be less than fully yourself? Genuine connection does not require performance. If yours does, that is the information. The imbalance pattern. Venus in Libra is exquisitely sensitive to imbalance. Who initiates? Who gives? Who accommodates? Who makes the effort? Who assumes the emotional labor? Who leads and who follows? If there is a consistent imbalance in a relationship, one person always in pursuit, one person always accommodating, one person always carrying what should be shared, Venus in Libra is surfacing it right now with unusual clarity. She is not asking you to keep score. She is asking whether the dynamic is sustainable, whether both people are genuinely choosing the connection equally, or whether the connection survives because one person is willing to carry it. The idealization pattern. This one is subtle, and it is specific to Venus in Libra combining with Neptune retrograde, which she was in exact opposition to on August 10th. Neptune retrograde conjunct Venus in Libra is romantic idealization at its most potent. The golden light Neptune throws over people and relationships around this time is beautiful and not entirely false. But it is selective. It tends to illuminate the potential of a person rather than who they actually are right now. If you have been loving the version of someone you believe they could become rather than the version standing in front of you, Venus in Libra is asking you to look at the person rather than the potential. To love what is actually there rather than what you are hoping will eventually arrive. The tolerance pattern. The most common relationship pattern Venus in Libra exposes, the relationship that has been quietly tolerated rather than genuinely chosen. Not a bad relationship necessarily. Not even an unhappy one. Just one that has been there, maintained by habit, history, convenience, or the simple fact that ending it feels harder than continuing it. Venus in Libra is asking everyone right now whether their closest connections are genuinely chosen. Not inherited. Not default. Actively, consciously, presently chosen. That is a question with real implications. And it is one Venus is not letting drop right now. What Venus in Libra is also doing, the other side. I want to be clear about something before we continue. Venus in Libra is not only exposing what does not fit. She is equally, and perhaps more powerfully, amplifying what does. If you are in a connection that allows you to be fully yourself, that operates with genuine reciprocity, that has been built on authentic mutual choice rather than performance or tolerance. Venus in Libra with Jupiter is making that connection feel extraordinarily alive right now. The warmth is real. The depth is real. The feeling that this particular connection is expanding into something more honest and more permanent, that is real too. Venus does not just audit. She affirms. And the relationships that pass her audit right now, the ones built on genuine alignment, are being quietly, powerfully strengthened in this window. Pay attention to those two. Quick pause, your free moon reading is in the description right now, first link. It shows you exactly which house Venus in Libra is activating in your personal chart right now, and which of your relationships is most directly being illuminated by this transit. Not Venus in Libra for your sun sign in general. For your exact birth date, your specific rising sign, your personal chart. It shows you which relationship or relationship dynamic is most directly in Venus's spotlight this week. Free. 2 minutes. First link in the description and pinned in the comments. What to do with what Venus is showing you. Here is the practical guidance for the next few days while this Venus-Jupiter sextile is still active. For what Venus is exposing as misaligned, do not act impulsively. Venus in Libra does not reward rash decisions. She rewards honest conversations. If something became clear in a relationship this week, the clarity is a gift. What you do with it is yours to decide. But the conversation that has been avoided is probably the one that needs to happen before the lunar eclipse on August 28th. For what Venus is affirming as aligned, let yourself feel it fully. Do not qualify it. Do not manage it. Do not maintain a safe emotional distance from something that is genuinely working. Venus sextile Jupiter today is asking you to receive the goodness in your aligned connections without immediately analyzing it. Let it land. Let it be real. For the relationship you are not sure about, Venus in Libra is unusually good at helping with exactly this. Ask yourself one question. Not, does this person love me? Not, is this relationship good enough? Ask, does this relationship allow me to be fully and authentically myself? The answer, the honest, immediate, pre-edited answer, is the information. Here is what I want to say to this community directly. Everything Venus in Libra is surfacing right now, the performance pattern, the imbalance, the idealization, the tolerance, it is not random. It is landing in a specific house of your chart. It is touching specific natal planets. And it is connecting to the same south node work the solar eclipse in Leo initiated on August 12th. These transits are not separate events. They are chapters of the same story that your personal chart is telling right now. This channel exists because of this community. You have been here from the Barbalt basket to the Lion's Gate to the eclipse, tracking this cosmic story with us. That matters. And there are two ways to support what we are building here together. The first is completely free. Hit like on this video if it has given you something real today. And subscribe if you have not already. The next videos in this series are not ones you want to miss. That 1 second of support genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this content. The second gives you something real in return. And for those who are ready to go deeper, the Eclipse Manifestation Blueprint is our own 36-page personalized guide for the Leo-Aquarius eclipse cycle running from 2026 through 2028. It was created by us at Inner Cosmos specifically for this community and this moment. Inside you get a complete personalized section for your rising sign, what the eclipse opened, what the 2-year cycle is asking you to build in your relationships and your life, a 30-day daily practice designed for your sign, and your personal eclipse intention statement. The relationship clarity Venus is delivering right now does not exist in isolation. It is one chapter in a 2-year story your chart is telling, and the blueprint gives you the complete map for where that story is going. 2 links in the description. Both worth your time today. You support this channel by engaging with this content and by exploring the tools we recommend. The moon reading is free. The blueprint was created by us. Both were chosen and created because they genuinely help. Venus entered Libra and she brought her audit with her. She is measuring every significant connection in your life against the same standard. Does this relationship allow both people to be fully who they actually are? Is it reciprocal? Is it genuinely chosen? Or has it been performing, tolerating, or idealizing something that deserves to be seen more honestly? That question is uncomfortable. And it is necessary. Because the Leo eclipse asked you to stop performing your identity. And Venus in Libra is asking the same question about your relationships. The 2 transits are connected. The same work. Different territory. The connection that can hold the authentic version of you, the one the eclipse is uncovering, that is the one worth building. Everything else is information about what needs to change. Drop in the comments, what has Venus in Libra been showing you this week? A connection that feels more alive than ever? One that suddenly feels impossible to pretend about? I want to know what she is illuminating in your relationship landscape right now. Share this video with someone in your life who is sitting with a relationship question they have not been able to name yet. Venus just gave us the language for it. Until then, Venus is watching. And she is not impressed by performances.